Hello class, welcome to the final small video session on the stuff that we were supposed to cover on March 16th. So just a quick recap. What have we done so far? We've seen European models with no dividends. We've seen European model with dividends. And we've seen American models with no dividends. So just to give you a clue there, and I know I mentioned this as the last thing in the previous session, but I'll mention this as the first thing right now. If I were to ask you a question on dividends, it'll only be for a European model. I'm not going to ask you dividends in an American model. If it's going to be American model, it's going to be pretty straightforward. There are no dividends there. So you can completely ignore slide 31 and 32 from an exam perspective. We'll just make it a bit simple for now. So what else remains? I could ask you a question on an exotic payoff. And we did cover quite a few strategies during the last live session that we had in class, where we focused on barrier models, we focused on bull call spreads, bear call spreads, and we did Asian options, and I also covered binaries. So what's a binary option? It means if an option is in the money, you get a fixed payoff, which in this case is $1, and if it's out of the money, it's obviously $0. And what can a typical question look like? You'll be given the spot price, the strike, payment of $1, standard deviation is 25%, let's say half a year, risk-free rate is 4%, and this is interesting here. So what is Q? Q is the dividend yield. So going back to the question on dividends, how can a dividend be asked? A dividend can be asked in dollar terms, which is what we did in our video session, where we said, if you were given dividends in dollar terms, just take it out from your initial spot price and the rest will follow suit. But what if I give you dividends in the form of an yield? And if I give it to you in the form of an yield, then you need to know that it impacts my factor A. So if it impacts A, which is R e raised to R minus Q times delta T. So if it impacts A, it impacts P, which is probability of price increase. It's going to impact probability of price decrease, which means it will have an impact on the entire binomial tree. So either it could come in yield or it could come in dollars. So I'm not to sidetrack here, but I'm just trying to give you different versions in which I can ask you questions for dividend yield. So for us, let's come back to our world here for a binary put option. So what will typically happen? Again, nothing drastic here. It's pretty much the same thing. You have your spots, you have your strikes, you have your standard deviation. So you can solve for your U. Again, what is U for us? U is given to you. You've already seen this before in terms of your formula. So just to go back to the actual slide in which we had all the formulas. I think maybe I overstepped my formulas sheet. Yeah. So if you look at slide 17, you know how to solve for U and D. U is e raised to standard deviation times square root of delta D. D is pretty much the same thing. Only thing is, instead of having a positive standard deviation, I'm going to have a negative standard deviation. And this question has given you those values. This question has given you standard deviations. It's given you delta T. So let's apply that. Let's apply the formula from slide 17 in here. So you're going to get U of 1.09. You're going to get D of 0.9. And now I want you to think about how you will solve this question. Because if you were given U of 1.0924 and D of 0.9154, you can solve for the extreme endpoints. Don't try to solve it using the traditional form. Let's be a bit smart here. Let's try to do it in the shortcut way right from the beginning. So you don't have to look at all this middle nodes. because once you know U is 1.0924, and maybe I can write this down. So U is 1.0924 and D is 0.9154. You can figure out the extreme endpoints, because for you to figure out the extreme endpoint, or one of the extreme endpoints, price has to increase, 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 and decrease. So you need you need 4 increases. What's your second node like? You need increase, increase, decrease, increase. As long as you have 3 increases and 1 decrease, you're good. What's your second node like? You need 2 increases and 2 decreases. And your fourth price, how do you get 83.8? Price has to increase once and decrease thrice. And how will you get 70? Price has to decrease 4 times. So let's try to solve for these multipliers. Let's take 1.09 raised to 4. Let's take 1.09 cube multiplied by 0.9. Here I'm going to take 1.09 square multiplied by 0.91 square, which should give us 1. And I have 1.09 multiplied by 0.91 cube and 0.91 raised to 4. So I have all these factors with me, and let me just take it with 2 decimal points, just makes it a bit neater for me. So what should the endpoint be? If I start off at 100, and if the factor is 1.42, let me just freeze 100. So I know these are going to be my potential 5 values at the end: 142, 119, 99, 83, 70, and that's what we get. So if that's going to be your final price, what's your corresponding payoff then? So we said if it's in the money, this is a put option. If it's in the money, you get $1. If it's out of the money, you get 0. So for the first 3 values on the top, at 142, it's out of the money. At 119, it's again out of the money. And again, I'm going to take this with 2 decimal points. It just makes it a bit cleaner. So this is at the money, which means I'll take this at 0. And now we are beginning to talk, because at 83, with a strike of 100, we know put option is in the money by whatever amount. It doesn't matter, because this is a binary payoff. And if it goes to 70, again, it's deep in the money, but you still get $1. So this is your payoff. And now you need to solve for the effective probability. And for that, we are going to apply once again the shortcut formula. So again, not to overkill this, but we need to do this anyway. So this is a 4-step model, which means I'll start off with coefficients. So there's one way of price going up 4 times. There's 4 ways in which price can go up 3 times, up 3 times and down once. 6, 4, 1. This is again something that we've seen before, so I'm not going to explain it again. And from a probability perspective, it's P raised to 4. So I'm going to take probability of price increase. Probability of price increase is 0.5062. I'm going to write this down separately here. So P is 0.5062, which means 1 minus P is going to be 49%. So P raised to 4, 0.50 raised to 4. Then for here, it's going to be 0.50 raised to cube multiplied by 0.49. For this one, price has to go up twice. So 0.50 square multiplied by 0.49 square. We've seen this a few times now. And here price has to go up once. So 0.5 multiplied by 0.49 cube I'm just putting this in bracket to be on the safer side. But Excel, I know, will take exponent as the first thing. 0.49 raised to 4. So what's my effective probability? I need to multiply coefficient with probability. And now when I sum this up, let's see what I get. I hopefully get 1. That's good. So what is my effective probability times payoff? This is, in other words, your weighted average formula. There is 6% chance that I'm going to get 0. So let's factor it. There's 25% chance I'm going to get 0. There's 37% chance I'll get 0. There's a 24% chance I'll get 1. So that's your 24. And 5% chance I'll get 1. So I'm getting 24 cents and 5 cents, which means the effective payoff at the end is 0.30. But that's the effective payoff at the end. I don't want effective payoff at the end. I want the payoff as of today. And we know this is a 6-month option. So what's the present value? Take 0.30 and discount it back at 4% for half a year. And this should be your answer. So the present value of a European binary put option in this case is 0.2972. And let's see what the answer comes to. It is 0.2972. Again, so either you can use the traditional form where you solve for this and keep going, keeps doing it through the backward induction process, or just be a bit smart about it. Take your effective probability and multiply it by your payoff. And that way you get your weighted average probability, and that gives you your answer. So either I ask you a question in the form of a bull call spread, a bear call spread, whatever it is, try to figure out that magic payoff here. So once you get that magic payoff at the end, so I'll just go to slide 34. Once you get the magic payoff at the end, no matter what kind of an exotic payoff, your process will still be the same. And then keep discounting it. Again, I hope you liked these sessions from me. I'm going to keep it small. I'm going to keep it that way. I feel the attention span will be much more. And feel free to email me with any questions. I'll help you out. I know these are trying circumstances for everybody, but we'll make this work. I know from my end, I'm going to make this work. I'll make it as user-friendly as possible. And if you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask. I will respond as soon as possible and make sure that you're up to it when it comes to the final exam. Okay. Again, good luck. Let's keep going. So for now, I'm going to sign off. I've done whatever I need for the stuff that we had to cover for March 16th. So for next week's class, which is going to be a fairly important one for us, Black-Scholes model. Again, I'll try to work on the weekend and get some videos done and upload it on 16th of March. So I'll upload it on 23rd of March and you have it ready, the Black-Scholes model. Thank you and have a safe time during this time.